All right, in today's video, we're going to be scraping, sanding, staining, and re-clear coating this rather interestingly colored tabletop that I found at an estate sale for $12. It's green and red, and hopefully it turns out rather well and fresh, and you guys might be able to pull something away for this video. If you are refinishing a table or have a project like this, hopefully some tips in here will be helpful. The first one being, if you choose to buy a table like this, try and make sure it's hardwood underneath, not veneer or laminate. I just find no value in resale, especially if it's painted veneer. It probably means it's in pretty terrible condition. Next up, starting off with my 2-inch flat scraper, because it saves me a lot of time in sanding pads, and when you use a Festool Rotex, it can get very expensive on the 6-inch pads. Here are the ribbons. It's just a massive volume of paint that I am now essentially preventing from destroying my tooling, my sandpaper, and also I'm keeping that dust out of the air. I did kind of concede to using some citrus strip here, just helped out remove the rest of this latex paint. There was just so much of it. I tried to not use chemicals and peelers, but it worked really well. And as you can see, it's gliding off of the polyurethane beneath this. So don't expect or anticipate that that citrus strip is going to pull the polyurethane at the same time, which is why I switched up to my Festool Rotex. Any sander will do. I just particularly love this model. I think it's worth every dollar. Unfortunately, I forgot that there was a leaf that expanded out of this table. So as soon as I was ready to stain, that was not fun. Just had to go back in there, scrape, sand, and then get ready for stain again. The bottom, my explanation for this, I'm using a shellac-based primer, and then I use a Sherwin-Williams Emerald top coat. Why? I know it's not proper, but I'll never get my money out if I go and sand that whole base for what this table is going to sell for. I just know it. The market's not there for it. The style is kind of old and 90s. The base isn't anything special. The top is acacia wood. So I cut my losses, and I think it's a fair trade for whoever ends up buying this thing, given the fact that I'm going to list it sub $200. One thing I will say about working with this type of wood, the acacia, it soaks up stain. It takes a lot of stain to saturate fully and evenly, but don't worry about blemishes. It tends to flash out over time. I wait a full 24 hours before top coating, just as a precaution to prevent blistering, bubbling, or cracking. I also try and stay compatible. If it's an oil-based stain, I'm going to go with an oil-based top coat. This is spar urethane. Why? Because I had it left over on a job, and I'm trying to make the most margin on this table, which ended up selling for about $175 on Craigslist of all places. And I kept my input really low. It was a sub 6-hour build, $12 for the actual table, less than 15 in materials. And like I said, it was about 5.5 hours of my time. So hope this was helpful for some tips or tricks on flipping these tables. See you guys.